We made it. Good to see everyone.
Woo!
For those of you that don't know, my name is Todd Haberkorn. You may not know my face, my Asian face, but hopefully you'll know some of the roles I've done, such as, which is why you guys are here, Natsu from Fairy Tale, which is a lot of fun, which we'll be doing another season of this year. I gotta sneeze.
It's you!
And the sneeze is done. It's very cool of you guys to be here. Thank you. I know there's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm so glad you're here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna watch I believe one of my favorite episodes of Fairy Tale. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I like to go back and like pick random episodes that I think were a blast to do. They were all a blast to do, but we'll watch one and we'll see what you guys think. I think you've seen this. How many people have never seen Fairy Tale before and this is your first? Okay, right on. Very cool. Raise your hands high. Those are the people we need to take out of the room. That's good. I'm glad you're here. This is cool because, you know, a lot of times it's the same kind of thing for me. Like sometimes sometimes when something's popular, I don't want to watch it because it's popular. Have you guys ever had that happen? Yeah. Why do we do that? It's kind of like with Academy Award-winning films. It's like, I know that movie's nominated for a lot of awards. I don't want to see it. I don't know what, that's like everyone's saying like, this is a good movie. This is the real deal. And I'm like, no. I don't know why. But one movie that I thought was going to be really amazing turned out to be less than stellar for me was The Last Jedi. How many people loved it? I thought it was good. I thought there were really cool moments, but I thought like, man, how many people have not seen it? I can't talk about spoilers. I'll give you one spoiler. Can I give you one spoiler?
Yeah.
The ghost of Han Solo comes back. And he actually is what saves the film at the end. Luke's like hanging off of this thing and then like Kylo's about to kill him and then Han comes up and shoots Kylo in the back. So I don't know what they're gonna do for the next one, but that's one spoiler. It's not the whole film. You're gonna see it, you're gonna be like, okay, that wasn't a big spoiler when you finally see it. I've been to Kawaii Kon before. It's fun to come out to these conventions, and for you guys, it's just like, for most of you, I would imagine, it's like, we live here. Why do you like this? But no, it's really incredible to be, because in LA, I live by beaches, but they're all an hour away. It's interesting to like look out and go like, oh, there's a beach over there. Oh, look at that shark killing someone. It's cool. Sharks don't do that, by the way. How many people don't like sharks because you think they kill everything they see? They don't. They don't. They do little like, what is this thing? And they bite it a little bit. It's just, they don't have hands. How are they supposed to know what it is? They gotta taste it. That's what I do when you go to a restaurant. Do you not do the same thing? You're like, oh, what's that slimy thing? You put it in your mouth and you try it, right? That's just what a shark's doing. Don't kill sharks. I love sharks. If I can have a shark on a leash, on a mobile aquarium that I just bring around with me, I think I would just be that weird guy with a shark in an aquarium that's mobile. But it would still be cool. Oh yes, yes. I could be a loan shark, that's right. That'd be one of those cosplay. One time I saw someone dress up for Halloween, and they were a big white thing with these little tadpoles attached to them. And I go, what are you? And he goes, I'm Conception. I wanted to be, and I'm going to do this, and only you guys will know about this. And when I do it, you'll see the pictures, and you'll be like, he did it. I want to go as someone that has a utility belt on, and a lot of, like, stuffed cats on it, like dead cats, and I want to be Curiosity. I'm gonna do that. I am totally gonna do that this Halloween. And I'm gonna carry around sharks, baby shark eggs, and if you guess what I am, I'm gonna give you a shark egg. That's your responsibility now. But I'm so glad to be here. It's always fun to come to conventions where it's like it takes place in a really cool spot like this. And I went and Did some, if you guys follow me on Instagram, official_Habergram, that's the real one, because there are a lot of imposter accounts out there, but that's the real one. I have pictures of me hanging out with a dolphin, and someone was like, hey, like they were kind of blasting me. They're like, I thought you liked animals, and how could you're supporting the animals in captivity and cruelty? And I thought about that, because before I did it, I made sure, I was like, okay, how do they take care of these dolphins? I want to know. And so we called the place. The concierge woman that has all the magic, and she waves it, boom, you're going to go do this thing. And so we called them, and we asked them, and we talked to them, and then when I went to the place to see it, I talked to the people there that handle the dolphins, and I asked them some questions, and I'm like, what do you feed them? How much space do they get when they roam around? And I even threw in like test questions. I'm like, when they shoot fire at the mouths, what happens? And they're like, wait, that doesn't happen. I go, I was testing you, that's good. So, but they take great care of them, and they get a big, it's at the Kahala Hotel in the resort, down the way, right? Over by Diamond Head. They take great care of them. They were smiling, and I'm like, that dolphin is smiling, it's happy. But it may be the type of thing where you try to investigate as much as you can, and then when I leave, they whip them. I don't know. But it was a lot of fun. It was my first time hanging out with dolphins. I figured that everybody that lives here, but it's the same thing. You assume like, oh, it's right there. Have you ever done that before? And then sometimes it's the case where you haven't. So it was fun to go do that. So I've done that, and I got a little bit of sun. See, my family. So we come from Vietnam, but I'm only half Vietnamese. The other half is German, and if you know anything about Germans, they're very pale. This isn't as dark as they get, but I'm dark. But my mom and all of the Vietnamese side of the family is super tan, like way tan. So when you see a family picture, you're like, who's that brown guy in the picture? I'm like, well, I'm the son. I'm the mud. And so, like, I was a poor decision on behalf of my parents years ago, 18 years ago, and then I came out here. So it's fun to be here, and I almost thought about getting a tattoo here, but I'm done with tattoos. No more tattoos. I lose a lot of bets with you guys, by the way. I got my first tattoo because of you guys, with Fairy Tale, which brings us here. It was so funny because no one was getting the Fairy Tale tattoos. And then when I made that bet, and then I got the tattoo, I can't think of another instance where someone from the show got the tattoo from that show. And then I started seeing all these Fairy Tale tattoos pop up, and it's really fun to see everyone kind of join on a global scale getting the tattoos, and whether they got parents' approval or not, they still get them. And so, but I'm still waiting for people to get the tattoo on the tongue. I want to see the Fairy Tale. That's how you know you're a real fan. Yeah, you're gonna do it? All right, I want to see it Sunday. Whatever hospital room you're recovering in, I'll come to see it. But I've seen it. People get it on their hands. They get it on their. He's going right now. Tattoo right on his tongue. And some people get it on their legs and their chest. One time I was at a con, and for people that don't know Fairy Tale, it can look a little odd. When I'm in, and this happened, I was in the hotel lobby, and Vader, the guy that is Darth Vader, was sitting in the lobby. So what he was seeing was like he's sitting like where you're at, and he can't hear anything that's being said. He's far away. He's an old man, and so this guy comes up to me, like this way, and we're talking, and then he goes. Well, what he was showing me was Gray's tattoo, but Darth Vader doesn't know that. And so I run into it at odd places. There are times when people are like, do you ever get recognized in places? And absolutely, every week. And so I'll be grocery shopping, and then I'll look, and I'm like, it's like a video game. I'm seeing the same NPCs down every aisle. And what it is they're following me down every aisle until they get the courage to come over and ask, and they're like, are you Todd Haberkorn? Well, first of all, I'm the only mutt that looks like this, by the way. And And so they come up and they say hello, or sometimes it's in at Disneyland. Every time I go to Disneyland, and you would think that would mean, oh, you get to go on the ride first. No, they're just coming to say hi, and they're going back, and I'm at the end of the line. But it happens all the time, and it's great. It's a lot of fun. It's mostly, it's intriguing when I'm at TSA, and I'm going through, and I feel like they want to search me, but really they just want to talk about fairy tale, which is fine. But I would much prefer it if they didn't have the latex gloves on during that talk. But Fairy Tale has been a wild show. For those of you that haven't seen it, what you'll notice is in the first episodes we had the voice in a certain place, and then by the end of it, Natsu's smoked a few packs of cigarettes, the voice is in a different place, but also you have to think, man, he's fought a lot of dragons, fought a lot of bad guys, he's kicked a lot of ass, and that takes its toll. Doesn't take its toll on the hair, hair's still cool, but the voice is been through some stuff. When I first started out with Fairy Tale, I could only get through, because it was the most difficult voice I'd done up to that point. And so yelling all the time, because every line is like this down here. And when you do that, your vocal cords are smashing together every line. So I could only do about 2 hours. Now I can do 6 hours, and then I'm done. And it's like, there are times when Tyler Walker's the director and kind of producer, and he wrote a lot of Fairy Tale. He knows more about it than anybody. He would throw me in the booth, and then there were certain times when I just couldn't do it anymore. Like I'd do a scream, and the scream has to be 9 seconds long. Now 9 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, but if we go 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, we're only halfway there. 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7, we're not there yet. 7 8 1,000, not there yet. 9 seconds of like the whole time, but like full blast, not library, not to. It's like, I'm coming to beat you. But like full on yells for 9 seconds. I can't do it. We gotta call it a day. I have to come back. I have to go heal. And you guys don't know this because you haven't hung out with me outside of a con venue, but I'm like a very quiet, I'm just very quiet, and I just hang out, and I'm just like, there. And so, because you would think like, oh, like, because I think that too, I was like, what's it like to hang out with someone that's like very, like, Star-Lord? What's it like to hang out with Star-Lord? It's like, oh, it must be an adventure all the time. It's like, it's probably pretty quiet. That's me. Very quiet. People sometimes don't even know I'm home. Like I'll have people come over to, say hi. They're like, oh, you are here. I'm like, yeah, I'm quiet. So when you see me play a lot of these crazy characters, I save all of that for the Natsus and the Watanukis and the Italys and the Kids, and I save it for that. There's a role that we're announcing Sunday. They do that panel, Ask an Anime Character. There's a character that we're going to announce that I am by seeing it on the Ask an Anime Character thing. And it's a show that I would love to I don't know if I can talk about it right now. I mean, we're announcing it this week. I mean, I guess it's fine, right? Yes! Because it's like either now or 2 days from now, right? Yes! Alright, well I guess I'll tell you, it's the first time I've mentioned it. Is this cool? Yes! I don't record it. I mean, I don't want to get in trouble with, I guess again, I don't know who runs it, but let's not record this part. Does that sound okay?
Yes.
That's what we'll be unveiling Sunday. Not to you guys, but don't tell anybody. If Crunchyroll comes up to you and says, hey, this is the show we're doing, act surprised. Act surprised like it's Christmas Day and you've already shaken the Christmas presents and you know what's coming and you found the stash and you know, you gotta act surprised when you get the PS4 Pro, you know. I remember when I always was really good at that. I always knew where my mom, because my mom, you know, again, Vietnamese, and how many people have Asian parents in here? When you have Asian parents, kind of the last thing on their list is joy. So, at least with my mom. They don't know how to facilitate it, they don't know how to activate it, they just know that they have to participate in it because it's a human emotion. So my Christmas gifts were very transactional. It wasn't like, oh my God, I've heard you talk about this over the course of a year, little Todd. I want to go ahead and get this for you because it will bring you happiness and make your little boy heart explode. And possibly die so then I don't have to care for a child anymore. She could have gotten rid of me that way. But because it's transactional, there's no surprise. I would write essays on why I should get certain gifts. That's a very Asian thing to do. Have you guys ever written essays for gifts? You've written an essay for what gift did you write an essay for?
I want a laptop.
Oh yeah? You wrote an essay on why you should get it? What was your opening statement?
I did it for school.
Oh, that's kind of like the stripper. That's like, I'm paying my way through school. What's that? Yeah, hey, listen, you know, I get it. She's trying to get her way through school. I'm just helping her education. Well, maybe, I don't know what she spends it on. And so I would write an essay. I was like, I need this Nintendo 64 because it's the fastest gaming processing unit in existence. And I broke it down. I said, it's got a 96 megahertz processor. It has the capability to run the launch game Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario 64. Don't you want me to experience that joy? The more time that I spend with this video game device is less time you're having to come up with things to do with me. And so in her mind, I saw the gears turn. She's like, this is a win-win for both of us. In fact, Tuesday, now I can't tell you this title. I used to play a game that brought me to rage tears. It's not just normal crying like when you see a cute puppy or animal video. It's that kind of tears that they're inspired by true rage that can only be brought upon by video games. You guys know what I'm talking about? Have you cried? Like, what game, are you shaking your head like, yeah, I've cried. What game did you play that made you cry, Steven Universe?
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts made you cry like anger tears?
Yes.
Now, was it human error? Did you not save properly and then you had to go back to before checkpoint? Was that your fault? Okay, well, you can only be mad at yourself, so let me get you a mirror so you can yell at that person. But I used to cry playing this game because checkpoints, this game laughed at checkpoints. Didn't know the meaning of it. So you die in this game, you have to start over. Every single time. And when you got to the ice level, guess what? You overshoot that jump a little bit, you're sliding off into death. That brought tears to my eyes, and it taught me how resilient controllers are. But I had to hone it, I had to focus the rage into beating that game. And when I finally beat the game, you get the mediocre, shitty ending. You get the ending that's like, you got a great score. Now try it on hard. But that sums up the Asian mentality on joy. The end of your game after years and hours of putting into it is you get a little pat on the back about your high score. That my mom made those games, I bet. Because now games get awesome endings, alternate endings. You get to see the guy get the girl and they kiss and they go off and he kills the big cyclops and then they get to unlock a special weapon and that's amazing and you've exploded, your feathers are everywhere because you're so happy. Not games of this era. So on Tuesday, I go and record the latest version of this game that has been quiet for many years and it's coming back. It's a very difficult game, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I can't say what it is. I can't even give you a hint. Well, I'll give you a hint. It's a video game. But past that, I can't say anything. So what we're going to do is, we'll watch this episode, you and I, together. And then I'll take any fairy tale questions you have, and then afterwards we're gonna go do some autographs. So we'll test it right now. I'm gonna plug this in. Oh wait. Let me make sure I have all my, because I've been doing work while I've been here. Let me just make, stay. Let me just make sure that all my secret stuff is off the email. That's an email you can't see. Well, because these projects haven't really been announced and, you know. That was a good whistle. Who did that? Okay, let's see. Let's do this. And we'll do... I was thinking about planet. Wait. Well, now this is tricky. I'm figuring it out. Oh, maybe we'll do this one. Yeah, we'll do this one. Okay. Okay, we're gonna play it. Yes, dim the lights. I love how we dim the lights. The one light that we really need to dim is on full black.
Just kill the lights.
Oh.
Still.
Well, it's like Coke Zero. It's okay. All right, I'm plugged in, fellas. And there's some business plan on the screen here. You just gotta let me know what you think. It's plugged in, yeah. Maybe it'll be a radio play. Maybe we'll just listen. That'd be cool too. Oh, going to display. Good, good. More. Oh, and I picked it up. I could watch Hunky Brewster. Apparently I have that. I've got Silverhawks on here. Go up. Oh! Soul God. Okay. Okay, good enough. We'll take it. Okay, let's do it. Oh, but now there's no sound. Oh, that's my favorite part. Tell me when you're ready. Tell me when you're ready. Hi. They're right there. Awesome, thank you. You guys look alike. Oh, okay. Compliment, okay. Because now it's going to the HDMI when it needs to be going to the 8-inch connector. I didn't think I knew things, did you? Okay. That's okay. We'll start that again. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So,
Hey guys, ready for some more fairy tale?
yeah.
Just make sure that when you're watching, you turn the lights on in the room. And don't sit too close to the TV.
Previously on Fairy Tale, we were attacked by a evil phantom lord, and they totally destroyed our meeting hall. We've never been on good terms.
See, like right there, like that's a very violent moment in the music. Like, da, 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 da. Let's see what happens. Well, I mean, if you want to keep the light out, you gotta sleep like that. It really devalues the resale rate of the house when you sleep like that. In LA, that would have already been stolen. One Punch Man.
Let's go, Kawaii!
Diamond Head. She just just murdered 15 guys in the room.
Why would anyone let a monster take over their arm? You guys, that's Alfred! I've heard of him.
That's a really bad skin disorder.
It's the Iron Dragon Slayer. Black Steel Gajil.
You attack Levy!
That's why you never fight in a skirt as a man.
Show me what you got. Unless you scum are too scared to face the great Iron Dragon Slayer. Too scared? Real man, no! You're an elfman, right? Not bad, big guy.
Well, that's because I'm a real man.
Yeah? Then let's see how a real man handles that.
Ransom, you attacked your own men?
Because I knew it distracted you.
Not so.
I'm not paying for that bar.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Fairy Tale's Dragon Slayer. Elfman, leave this guy to me.
Come on. First you used me as a springboard, and now you want to steal my man-to-man fight?
Iron Dragon.
Not so!
I'm fine.
And you attacked Leffy and her team.
Don't worry, he won't kill me. We have 276 episodes to go.
The kid's fired up now.
Yeah, I hate to be that other guy.
That's my line.
All right, fine. You're manlier than I thought. I'll let you have this one, but you're gonna promise me that you're
Too
gonna...
bad. I'll beat him to a pulp.
Nice try, but I'm still standing.
And I'm still wearing sandals.
Oh, yeah? That hurt. This is pretty crazy. Oh.
See, you ask why I don't like Graves because he stands around like that and just watches.
It's gonna take more than that to keep me down.
You seriously think you can beat me, you pyro?
What do you mean, think? I know that I can.
We'll see about that.
Your steel beams can't even touch me. You better start stepping up your game.
The rumors are true. You're way more powerful than you look.
Thank you.
So, is that all you got? Sal?
No.
I'm just getting started. You ain't seen nothing yet, you metal freak.
Fights don't happen like this. No one stands there like that.
Man, it's tough.
Oh, I remember that. That was cool.
How you like that, Pocket?
Don't get cocky. It won't happen again.
The guy from Home Depot's like, no, my precious wood!
I guess they're going at it.
I don't like the sound of that. What's going on?
This is what happens when Master Mongrel's angry.
It's called the Giant's Wrath. Nobody will be able to stop him now. He's gonna make the guildhall collapse.
If he gets angry, the master's even manlier.
Prepare to fight! We cannot lose as long as Master Mongrel is with us!
Show that glass, Makarov.
Look what the cat dragged in. Why are you attacking Fairy Tail? Tell me! I haven't seen you in quite a while, Makarov. 6 years ago at Guildmaster's conference. I remember that day. I was a complete mess. I can't hold my liquor as well as the rest of you.
I can't even grow a mustache like that. I'm just impressed.
I didn't come here for small talk. I want answers.
I came here to show you my giant stretchy arm.
Objection! You coward! I should have...
He Luke Skywalkered us!
It's not cowardice. I'm simply trying to avoid a fight between two of the wizard saints. In lieu of that mess, I prefer a sensible victory without
good skin.
emotion. Why are you hiding?
That's a mustache.
Lucy, but why? Why, you ask? You mean she's a member of your guild and you don't know? I'm surprised that Miss Lucy Heartfilia never told you the truth. No, don't!
I'm your dad.
Where'd he come from? I couldn't even sense his presence.
I'll see you in 10 episodes.
It's heartbreaking. Why my son be feeling melancholy? It must be because the world...
That's what happens when you eat a whole box of Thin Mints in one sitting. I've done it, and it hurts.
It's gone.
It's grass, you okay?
Master!
Such sorrow.
Makarov is powerless now, thanks to Aria of the Heavens, a member of Phantom's Element 4. He has the ability to make other wizards' powers disappear in thin air. I think it's safe to say we won this round, Fairy Tail.
Why do we focus on Bolo? Why is Happy shaking his,
Power is my magic. Power is...
Master, calm down. What happened to him?
I don't know, but I don't sense any magic energy coming from him at all.
Gray, are you saying he's just an ordinary old man now?
No, that can't be!
Come on, Gramps, you can pull through this.
Guess the fun's over. And just when things were starting to get good.
I don't understand. Gramps is so powerful. How'd they beat him?
The only way to find out is to go up there. The master's been defeated! For real?
What, he's out?
That's right.
You guys, we can beat him!
I love how everyone thinks he's so powerful and it's like, oh, he's down, let's take over. That bums me out.
This is bad.
Crap, what now? We'll just have to fight harder.
You're just in time. You're lucky.
Look out! You shouldn't push yourself so hard. It's
Well, I can see where this is going.
We can't do this. Without the Master, we aren't strong enough and our morale's dangerously low. We must retreat! Everyone, back to the guild at once!
No way! We can't just give up!
Real and never retreat!
I still gotta find a name.
Is hers about to transform into a bikini? We don't know.
It's so fair. Now retreat! That's an order!
There they go. I knew it wouldn't be long before those gutless cowards gave up and started running for their lives.
See, the only thing I don't buy is like the blood would be rushing to his head right now, and he would pass out. That's not believable.
You're just as creepy as ever. I gotta commend you on taking down that fairy tale geezer.
I just followed Master Jose's orders. But thank you!
Why are you always crying? Jeez.
That's a tear duct's problem, and he needs to get medicine for it.
She's been captured. The poor wretch is being held in a gloomy cell at headquarters.
So much for giving her a warm welcome, huh? No way.
Is there something wrong?
Godzilla! Will finish this someday, salamander.
I will say, everyone in anime has perfect teeth. It's pretty remarkable.
Kidnap Lucy.
Everybody out! Let's go!
I'm not going back yet. I won't leave till I get revenge. They gotta pay for what they did to us.
And it looks like everyone has just 2 giant teeth. One on the top, one on the bottom. What's happening?
It's our only option. We need him. We're completely helpless without the master.
Now this is true. Guys, we don't know what to do when you cry like this to us.
No, the salamander. And I can't. You got it. We need to chat. Please don't burn me.
So what are we gonna do now?
Isn't it obvious? We're gonna go save Lucy. All right, pal. Where is she? Tell me.
How should I know?
It looks like we walked 7 miles and now I'm questioning you.
Start talking.
I told you to not know nothing. Serious, do not put out the fire.
You phantom guys hurt another one of my friends. I swear I'll hurt everyone if you control my fashion.
I told you that. Whatever. This Lucy chick. I told you without I told you.
So if you really think about it, Natsu is a sociopath murderer. Really, I mean, in no court of law would they be like, well, that was sensible. You burned him alive to get answers. But it's okay in this land. Jenga! Wait, see,
What the? How did I get here?
So you're finally awake. I was getting worried about you, Lucy.
Who are you?
I am Master Jose Porla of the Phantom Lord Guild.
You're with Phantom? That's right. I was captured by 2 of the Element 4.
I'd like to apologize for this dingy cell and being timed up must be degrading. But I'm afraid I had no choice, my dear. That is how you treat a prisoner after all.
You're the jerks who attacked my friend Lovey! Better let me go. My friends are gonna come looking for me.
Depending on your willingness to cooperate, I'm fully prepared to treat you as Phantom Lord's esteemed guest rather than a lowly prisoner.
What do you mean by that? Yes! That's what's wrong with me!
See? You don't want to stay in here, do you? I have a beautifully decorated suite waiting for you if you promise to behave.
Why does your guild keep attacking us?
Who is us? Oh, I'm sorry. Are you talking about Fairy Tale? It was a means to an end, and that's all.
What?
You see, we were working towards our main objective of acquiring a certain someone. They happen to be a member of Fairy Tale, so if we have to destroy the guild to get a hold of them, so be it.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, my, you're such a naive young lady. Not at all what I'd expect from a debutante. I'm talking about you, of course. Lady Lucy.
I have that dress.
How did you find out about that?
You know, I'm surprised you never told your fellow guild members the truth. And I don't understand why the daughter of a wealthy tycoon would stoop to such cheap and dangerous work as wizarding for such a low-class guild. Do you?
I've been kidnapped?
No, my dear. I promise it's
I'm
not.
in a jail cell, my hands are bound, I've been kidnapped?
Why did I even bother to bring you home to him?
I have those
I
shoes.
don't understand. Why would he want me back?
Why do you seem so confused? Any father would go looking for a daughter who ran away from home.
Not him. Honestly, I'm shocked he even noticed that I was gone. I'm not ever gonna go back to that house. I don't want anything to do with him.
Just like one of the girls I used to date. She loves you 1 second, she hates you the next.
I'm sorry, but I can't do that.
Please. I need to go to the bathroom.
Give me a break. You don't think I'd fall for the oldest trick in the book, do you?
No, for real. I'm dying here.
cool.
There's a reason
Not cool,
those are
Lucy.
still around. Because they work.
No matter how much a guy kidnaps you, you do not kick them there.
I forgot to mention, this cell is several stories high.
But it was a great deal on Airbnb.
I must admit, they got a number on me, young lady.
Go ahead, jump. It's fine.
But you're not going to get away with it. You will be punished. I'll show you just how terrifying back to rule can be.
Oh, she took my suggestion. Time to die.
I heard him in the distance. I know he's here.
I think when you kill yourself, this music doesn't play. Oh yeah. The building was 700 stories high. That would have hurt for Rick Cage, but that's okay. Happy flies. Happy did not offer at all to do that. That's alright. Maybe do it, it's fine. Hashtag me too.
There you go. Are you okay?
I think so. That's good news. Okay.
You think you're okay? I just saved you from diving 700 stories!
Arisa told us to retreat.
Because she's a wimp. I'll face those guys by myself if I have to.
But you saw what they did to the master.
Exactly. That's why I want to get revenge.
You're not strong enough to fight him on your own.
What did you say?
I said you can't.
I hurt you the first time.
Everybody's hurt.
I'm not hurt.
No, but Nat's got a broken arm.
So what? I'm stronger than him anyway.
See, this is a classic teaching moment. When you just save someone's life, they should get your back no matter the position. They should back you on whatever your argument is. Okay, well you just cry for 10 more minutes.
It's my fault.
It is, probably.
But I don't want to leave. I want to stay with you guys. Because I love being in Fairy Tale.
That would be weird if she quit the show and then she just went over to do like Nagato Yuki-chan or something. Like Lucy just took off from this show and went to another show. She was in Dragon Ball.
You're one of us. You don't have to leave.
Come on, let's go back to the villa.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, leave her there.
Yes, we oughta.
That's how my mom used to teach me. You don't want to go somewhere, she leaves you. Find your way home, you're safe.
On my back. Is that cool with you?
Mom, but you did. You made the poor girl cry again.
I was just trying to help.
And no one's concerned about Jose crying? Oh, that was a good team. Oh, that was the end. Ooh, Lucky Charms. Has anyone eaten an entire box of Lucky Charms in one sitting? Raise your hand. Shame on you. Alright, everyone.
Did you eat a
But that's what I mean. Like this big thing happens, and then at the end, it's like, shoo-doo-ba-ba-ba.
Did you eat a giant, a Lucky Charm cereal box in one sitting? With a Lucky Charm? Yeah. It's cereal, Lucky Charm, live along.
Now I just want marshmallow cereal. Isn't it amazing how the industry has done that? They're like, don't eat sugar for breakfast, don't eat cake for breakfast, because we've turned it into a cereal. Like, for years, the industry's great. I bet you I have never washed that scarf.
What's taking so long to get here? We were supposed to meet a while ago.
What's up, Abby? Wow, you're early.
I chopped my feet off, hey!
Wait, big dummy.
Seriously? I could have sworn I was right on time because it's a quarter till hungry in my stomach.
Wait, you tell time with your stomach? Next time, 15 minutes?
3 o'clock. Want to grab a bite to eat?
No, we were supposed to run it.
Later. There's an awesome fish special on the menu.
Forget the errands, let's eat it.
All right. That was fun. I think that was one of my favorites because it also featured Ed Blaylock, who is no longer, he's watching from the eternal high rise right now. So that was good to watch that episode for old Ed. Do you guys have any fairy tale questions para mí? Was it yes?
Between Lucy and Lisana, who would you pick?
Between Lucy and Lizana, who would I pick? Well, here's why I picked Lizana. Let me explain. Let's say there's a girl you like. And let's say you save her life 276 times. And not one time does she ever think, hey, let me take you out to dinner. Let me thank you for the times you've saved my life. Not even one dinner. We can just go to California Pizza Kitchen. We don't have to go somewhere fancy. Not one time has she offered. And I think Lizana would be like, you know what? Thank you for saving my life once. Let me do a home-cooked meal for you. Lucy's never done that. So I think I have to go long-term. I think Lucy's short-term because I'm like, finally. But then Lizana long-term because I'm like, that's the girl you grow old with. That's the girl's going to have your back when you save her life almost 300 times. And I bet you, in the next 60 episodes of Fairy Tale, I'm probably going to save Lucy's life 58 times. 2 episodes when we go see what Elfman's doing, but then I'm going to save Lucy's life, and I bet you not one time is she going to try to ever do, hey, you know what? Let me wash your scarf this week. Let me just do a little chore for you because you saved my life so much. I don't know. Next question. In the very back, yes, sir. Oh, well, who said? Stand up for me. Who said that? Oh, hi. Way back. Hello. Say that one more time. How are the stamps made? Oh, the symbols? Some very imaginative animator who doesn't ask me what I would like, just makes them. But I think they do a good job. Your question, yeah.
What were your feelings when E&D was revealed to be like Ethereal's Natsu, and then when those episodes finally gonna get released?
Well, the Dragon Crime movie is coming out this month, finally. And I imagine that shortly there is another volume coming out, and I bet you it answers it then. For us, when we work on the episodes, it's so funny when you see us do behind-the-scenes things, when we do commentary on episodes, that's the first time we're watching it all together. And so, because a lot of times when we do our lines, we do exactly, thank you, we do exactly our parts. And so we don't see the entirety of the episode until it's done. And like that episode, I wouldn't watch it ordinarily until I'm with you guys. Because we work on so many shows, so like, whenever I post an image of me in the recording booth, a lot of times people think it's just a fairy tale, but we work on so many things, fortunately, throughout the week. So fairy tale is one of those things, but we don't ever actually get to see it all. The only time that we really see the whole episode kind of play out is more so on things like when I'm working on Ben 10, or Ever After High, or Sophia the First, or shows like that where we record the shows all together at once. Or if I'm directing a show, of course, I'll see the whole thing a lot because I'm directing it. Yeah, it's the new volume's coming this month. What's really cool about Dragon Cry, did anyone see that when it went into theaters? Dragon Cry? Very cool. Thank you for going to check that out. It was a really fun opportunity for me because it's the first time. So we did a big premiere on both coasts. So it was like a red carpet thing in LA and then one in New York. And what was fun about that, number one, is that Dragon Cry is this big staff. And they 3D printed one of these staffs to have at the LA premiere at the Montalban Theater. And it was a lot of fun to hold it, get to see it in the flesh. And then I just happened to be going to New York. I was there for a convention, but that week I went a little early just to, I try to go to New York a couple times a year just to, I never want to live there. Well, not never, never say never. I don't envision myself living there, but I like to visit a lot. And so I just went early, and it just so happened the day that I was going, not only was my birthday, but also the premiere of the New York leg of the tour. So we had a premiere there, and then we filled that theater up with fans, and we all watched Fairy Tale together, but not all of them, it's weird how this worked out. Not all of them knew I was there until the end, when I stood up and said, let's do a Fire Dragon War together. And then they're like, wait a minute, why is this guy? Oh, that's Natsu. And so we did it, and it was fun to be there in New York on my birthday, seeing a premiere. It was very cool. And then I got this, my final tattoo. And so, that was a blast. But yeah, so Dragon Cry is coming out this, like, next week, I think? I don't know. I'll ask the director. He knows. Yes? That I like. Natsu is my favorite character to play, but I don't know if it's because I've been with him so long, or because he really is my favorite. I think it's because he's really my favorite. But also, it's like when you're with the character that long, it needs to be your favorite. Because you're doing it for a long time. And so and also I have the tattoo, so it's like, if that's not your favorite character, you're making poor choices. So, that's my favorite character, my very first tattoo. If you haven't seen the video of the tattoo, it's online on YouTube. Just look up my name and Fairy Tale tattoo, and you'll find it. And I did not cry when you watch the video. Some people are like, oh, he's crying. I'm like, and then he's like, why didn't you get it in red? It's like, I'm getting my character's tattoo! I didn't want it in red because, remember what I mentioned about the skin thing? I don't think red would look good on, you know what I mean? I'm not like a pale man. Slenderman, attorney at law. Let's see, next question. Yes, in the front row.
How much of Lucy's wardrobe do you think you've burned so far?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I wonder if Lucy does like a loot crate for clothes every month. So if that's the case, there's probably a lot of clothes that, you know, she really didn't need or want to begin with, and I did her a favor. Really. You think about it. Yes, sir. Your question.
How did you feel when you did the episode where Igneal died?
Oh, it was frustrating when Igneal died, spoiler, because it's like we spent all these episodes getting there, and then at one point in the episode I'm like, he's gonna die. I just knew it. I'm like, and I turned over to the director, I'm like, is he gonna die? And he's like, oh, we don't know. The way the music was going, I'm like, oh man, I just meet him. And then bam, he dies. That bummed me out a little bit. But I think good stories put their characters through stuff. Like stories where there's conflict and you don't know what's gonna happen at the end. Like, I think we all know that Natsu and Lucy and Happy are gonna make it, but we don't know how they're gonna make it. And that's what's interesting about the story, is that all the bad guys are different, that their powers are different, and the fights are different. And so that's what was really appealing to it. About it for me, is because all the battles were so imaginative. And so I was bummed out. Maybe he'll come back. I mean, we started doing D. Gray Man again. Who knew that would happen? So maybe he'll come back. Let's see. Yes, sir. Oh, there and then there. Yeah.
This kind of ties into what you just said, but who do you think would win in a fight between Natsu and Alan Walker?
Well, Natsu has the benefit of experience on his side. Alan's a little boy, so he has little boy strength. Now, yes, you could say he can do handstand one-arm push-ups. Well, that's pretty powerful. Yeah, but Natsu doesn't care about property damage and murder, so he'd probably beat Alan. Just because, like, Alan, it's like, oh, I can't kill him. But Natsu's like, you made Lucy cry? Time to die. Yes, sir, your question.
Did you read the manga?
The director read the manga, and I love comic books, and I definitely do my fair share of reading, but the thing is like, there's so much, you know, we live in this era where there's so much content. If you're not watching Netflix or Hulu, or reading manga, or reading comic books, or reading books, or listening to your buddy's podcast, or like, there's so many things to ingest entertainment-wise that the manga, I see it in the stores. But he reads it, and that's the key to, you know, you want a good director that is very knowledgeable about that stuff, so that I know where to go in the episode outside of the journey of the episode itself, but knowing where I'm at in the story, and to have a director that's really, really keyed into that is crucial for me to be successful, for the show to be successful, etc. So it's I trust him to do that. I think I got time for 2 more questions. Yeah.
I know you've probably been asked this before, but what made you want to play Natsu?
What made me want to play Natsu? Well, he's the lead. So I wanted it for that. But the thing is like, I just, it's a weird thing because like, this is my career. And so I just like being able to continue to do what I love. And so like, if it meant doing it as Natsu, awesome. If it meant doing it as Gray, no. But if it was, so it's, but once I got into Natsu, the way I have very similar traits to him, like I disregard property damage. Fighting is my go-to. But I like how loyal he is, and how much he fights for his friends and family and people that are close to him. And also, he wears weird clothes, really, if you think about it. It's kind of weird. I have weird clothes, I wear weird clothes. And so we kind of get along that way. And one day, I hope to have hair as thick, like 1/10 of his hair is like that thick. And I aspire to have that one day, to where people can use it to hang off the edge of a cliff if they need saving. Two more. How about, yes, Chopper.
Okay, this is a really bad joke.
I'm going to tell you a bad joke when you tell me a bad joke.
What?
Okay, hit me with it.
What is Natsu's favorite food?
Tell me Natsu's favorite food.
Chicken Natsu!
Now I have my favorite bad joke, and I love it so. What did the janitor say when he jumped out of the closet? Supplies. Okay, one more, that's it. One more question. You pick the question. You pick the final one.
I saw your hand up earlier. What kind of guiding method instead of fire method? Like, which one you would pick?
Oh, which magic would I have?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta think about it, because if you have crazy magic, the government's gonna come capture you and study you. But if you have magic that no one really knows about, like if I had the magic of speaking every language in the world, government's not gonna find that or study it. They're just gonna think, wow, that's a really smart guy. Like if I had Happy's power of flying, they'd be like, why is that guy naked and blue and flying? We need to catch his ass and study it. But if you just speak languages, they're like, oh, wow, he's very helpful at cons. He can translate for everybody. I'm going to go do some autographs. I don't know where they're at. They're in the dealer room, I think, right? They're in the dealer room. I'm going to be there. It's good to see you guys. I hope you guys caught an awesome opening ceremony. This was a fantastic guest and dancing. And I'll see you